need help! I need help!
Okay. What do you need help with?
Okay. So I met this girl, okay?
Okay.
And this girl, she's so cool, so awesome. But there's a big issue. She's a car girl. Oh, and you don't know shit about cars. I don't know shit about cars, bruh. So can you like help me out here? Okay, I got you. Pull up a chair, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your teacher speaking. Hello. Okay, in order to understand cars, you need to know the stats of any car. And when you're talking about them, there are mainly 5 things that you'll talk about: horsepower, speed, weight/materials, look, and sound. Firstly, horsepower. The definition of horsepower is the amount of power required to lift 550 pounds or your mom 1 foot off the ground in 1 second, or more simply put, the power of 1 horse. That's pretty obvious. Anyways, a misconception could be that speed and horsepower are the same thing.
No.
In layman's terms, horsepower is related to speed, and that when a car is light and there's a lot of horsepower, it's going to go super fast. If it's a lot of weight and a lot of horsepower, it will go slower. It's easier to think horsepower is the kind of muscle of the car, and the weight of the car is, your weights. A good amount of horsepower for sports cars is about 300 to 500 horsepower. Anything above 120 is kind of your everyday car. Which brings me to weight/materials. This really isn't that complicated. The lighter the car is, the faster the car can go. Keeping a car lightweight also improves the overall control that the driver has in the car. A prime example of power and lightweightness are the Formula 1 cars. A lot of power, but incredibly lightweight cars. What was it talking about? Materials? Materials. Some common materials you'll see in high-end sports cars will be things like carbon fiber, aluminum, magnesium alloys, titanium, that Iron Man nerd shiz. Most materials you'll see will favor a good strength to weight ratio. Now, speed. If you're trying to one-up someone talking about cars, the more likely thing they'll compare is speed. Things looks and sound are kind of preference, but speed gives you an objective number to compare. So if you have a faster car, you're essentially better. Unless they're richer than you. You're hostile wrist, bruh. Another important stat for cars is their 0 to 60 time, which is how long it takes a car from rest to reach 60 miles per hour in under a certain time frame. A good 0 to 60 time for modern sports cars is under 5 seconds, but for those upper echelon supercars and hypercars would be like around 3 seconds. Now the look and sound. Everybody has their preference, but these two characteristics are kind of all that matters. Unless you're a crazy person or someone who got heartbroken by the Hello Kitty girl, you're really never going to use the full capabilities of your car's max speeds. So looks are all kind of opinion. Sound, on the other hand, could be argued as something that is just preference, but kind of is not. Sound affects the driving experience and is an indication of the engineer's work on the car. Now you know the stats, the basic stats, okay? So let's actually talk about the cars. I'm going to basically list just the major car companies and their most popular car or their best car, in my opinion. Obviously, I have some bias because I am me. Toyota. 1997's Toyota Super Turbo. Top speed, 155 miles per hour or 250 kilometers per hour. Maintenance, pretty high maintenance vehicle. Replacement parts are hard to find. Price, 50K to 80K. Dollars, not pesos. I rated a 7 out of 10. Very cool, fast and furious type car. Ford. Okay, before I go into Ford, let me just preface this by saying we're not going to break down them mom cars. In our hypothetical delusions, we are sons of a big tech tycoon, secretly sociopathic due to our parents' neglect and abuse, and multiple murder victims. Anyways, the Ford GT or the GT40 is probably Ford's best looking cars. The GT40 was made in competition to compete in the 1960s European endurance race. And there's a movie about it, Ford vs. Ferrari, and features the GT40. It's pretty good. It is Christian Bale in it, so yeah. Now obviously I'm going to rate the Ford GT because the GT40 is old and the GT was designed in reference to the GT40. So yeah, top speed 260 miles per hour or 348 kilometers per hour for them British people. 0 to 60 3.3 seconds. Maintenance, very high maintenance. Any supercar is going to be high maintenance. You're constantly going to be worried about kids, fentanyl addicts with cheese fingers touching your car and the fine tuning and stuff. Price, $1.7 million Roonies. Mansory also produced a car that is designed in reference to the GT and is accented with a lot of carbon fiber. Very cool. GT I give an 8 out of 10. Le Mansory I give a 8.7 out of 10. I like it. Honda's best looking car is probably their models of S2000. Very nice. Very nice. If you mod this car, it also looks very nice. Gives some Porsche 911 vibes. Top speed 150 miles per hour or 240 kilometers per hour. Maintenance level very reliable, very reasonable maintenance level for a high performance vehicle. It is also important to note it is a very small car. The trims of the S2000 are in the range of 10K to 35K. These cars are just getting pretty expensive pretty fast though, so buy it quick if you want to buy it. Yeah. Overall, 8.2 out of 10. I like it a lot. Chevrolet. Probably the CA Corvette is your best car. The only thing I don't like about this car is that it looks very angry or like it ate a lemon, but it is very cool. Top speed 194 miles per hour or 312 kilometers per hour. Maintenance level, it is a high performance car, but it is supposed to be more user friendly and doesn't require as much maintenance like other supercars. Price, the base model costs like 64 to 70K and goes up all the way to like 100K. Nissan GT-R R34. Top speed 165 miles per hour or 266 kilometers per hour. Maintenance level does require regular attention, but it is known to be reliable if it is properly maintained. Price 40K to 100K. It has never been officially sold in the US though. However, find used ones in Japan for 15 to 35K. Porsche 911. Okay, there are a lot of trims of this car that like there's the 911 GT3, the RS of that, the GT2 RS, the turbo, and the reason why 911 turbo exists, what does that mean? What does turbo mean? Basically, some cars will be equipped with things called turbochargers or superchargers. I'll break down turbochargers first because, you know, that's the relevant one. So, if you have any flippant inkling about how an engine works, basically there are these pistons, right? And at the piston wall, fuel and oxygen is put in, and then that just ignites and goes kaboom boom, which creates power and pushes the piston. That's how the wheels turn. Very elementary description, but all you have to kind of really know is that the burning of the oxygen fuel produces exhaust gases, and the exhaust gases spin a turbine, and the turbine spins something called the compressor, and the compressor pushes in air to the engine, and more air equals more power because more fuel can be burned. Turbochargers have a few benefits, but I think the most notable one is that you can have a lighter engine with the same power. Superchargers, on the other hand, while also putting air into the engine itself, is different in the fact that it is directly attached to something called the crankshaft, which is the thing that spins from the movement of the pistons. I need a burp. As the crankshaft spins, the supercharger puts more air into the engines. The one advantage of superchargers over turbochargers is that when the engine starts, the supercharger also immediately starts, while a turbocharger may have like a moment to spool up or like start working. The 911 Carrera, which is the base model, is 64K, but you won't go fast, which is sad. I personally think the best ones are the 911 GT2, the GT3 RS, or the GT3, or even the turbo, but I think turbo is just like way too much power. I'm not gonna break down the turbo. Everyone knows the turbo. 911 GT2 RS is the fastest 911 out of these three. It totally focuses on raw power. Costs 225K plus. Maintenance level is very high. This is a very race car vehicle, you know. There's a ton of TikTok edits about it.
The Porsche engineers knew exactly what their objective was.
911 GT3. Still pretty fast, but more accessible. This is kind of the in-between if you want super fast and race car, but like normal. Price is 160 to 170K. Still high, but less than its counterpart, the GT3 RS. It is more expensive than GT3. Why? Well, it looks sick, but it's also supposed to be really good at handling and performance in a closed course. I rate these 911s a 9.5 out of 10. I really like 911s. Did you know that all of these 911s are under the price of one kidney? Yo, how many kidneys do you have? One? Why one? I donated it. Oh. Idiot. What?
White Ferrari.
LaFerrari is the best Ferrari, I think. Especially in white or the classic red. Nice. Top speed, 217 miles per hour or 350 kilometers per hour, but you don't use this car to go fast. It's a collector's item. Maintenance level, very high maintenance. Price, 1.5 mil USD. Very nice and cool car. Tyler Crate also has one in white. And tell me this wasn't a reference to white Ferrari. It must be Frank Ocean. Lamborghini. Fettuccine. I hurt my knee. Lamborghini Essenza. Stop that in Italian. The Essenza SCV12. It's the fastest Lamborghini. It looks like a transformer or some like geometry monster. I think it looks pretty cool, but don't get a Lambo. You know, it's cringe. Top speed is 217 miles per hour or 350 kilometers per hour. Maintenance level very high. Again, it's a supercar. Price 2.6 mil USD, and there are only 40 units available. Overall rating 6.7 out of 10. I like it, but I don't like it.
Natsuki Subaru.
I like Subarus.
No, child. Don't like Subarus.
McLaren. Gonna say my opinion. The McLaren Senna. I saw it in a magazine once, and I saw the glass side panels, and I was like, yes! Really like this car. Think it looks very clean. Top speed, 208 miles per hour, 335 kilometers per hour. Maintenance level, very high maintenance. Base price is like 1 mil USD. A more reasonably priced McLaren is the 2018 570 GT, and that's around 200k. And that's still under the price of one kidney. But the best advice, dude, I can give you when you're learning about cars is find a car you like and just do some research on it. And dude, you'll be fine. I'm sure she'll be glad you took some interest in our hobbies, you know? Thanks, dude. Now you go get her, man. You go. Thanks, dude. You go get her. You go get her, you handsome face. Thank you. You do that. Yeah. Ugh. Hi, I was just wondering, you're ugly.